started making this list the other day and thinking about this stuff, immediately a lot more memories of my father came into me and in my brain in a more comfortable space. You know, a lot more things came into me where in the memories I was more loving of him now, even immediately, than I was like, you know, the meetings were softer. They had, the memories were softer. They had more of a curve to them. It just wasn't such a, just a little bit of less 90-degree angles around my heart. Yeah, man, it just got me thinking about the parental stuff and family stuff and just judgment and how my judgment keeps me away from others. I can feel it sometimes even still today. You know, I know I'm not doing good when I start getting real judgmental. Because judgment keeps me away from you. It keeps me away from someone. Oh, look at them. Look at that. Oh, look, they're like that. Oh, they have that. Oh. Now, sometimes it works to inspire me. You know, I judge the rich. I judge the greedy. You know, and sometimes it works to inspire me. And I felt like those things were necessary. But I'm at a point in my life now where I'm able to look and see, okay, is this still serving me well? Or is this just a thing that's keeping me away from people? You know, and then it goes down to, well, why are you so afraid to have somebody care about you? Why are you so afraid to care about someone? Because the thing is, there's this trick, that's the devil out there making you believe that or feel that. I think the whole life you think, oh, I'll just keep judging and keeping people at a distance. But guess what? There's this thing in the distance making you think, oh, that you win somehow, that I win somehow by doing that. I'm not saying you, I'm saying me. But then I get to the end of my life and I'll realize, you know what? I didn't win anything by doing that. That was a trick. And the only thing I won was being alone or being less connected to others, you know. And not only did I miss out, could I miss out on caring about people, but I missed out on feeling probably a lot of the love that people had for me. Because there's something right there wrapped up, they're next door neighbors, they're cheek to cheek, they're conjoined twins. When I can't love someone, when I judge and I keep someone away from me, you know, I keep me away from them. I keep me away from them. And also, what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Listen, I'm not saying woe is me, this or that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I know that there's, if I'm resentment about something, if I'm angry about something, I need to go look at why I'm angry about it. And if I can eventually find a way that I had some say in it, then at least it's in my control. So instead of being angry at my dad because he was so old and I didn't get to a proper father-son relationship, instead I can take a little bitty piece and say, oh, well, you know what? When I was like 15, 16, I could have probably been a better son at some points. Then it puts a little bit of it on me. Now I can have ownership of it. And now I can go apologize, you know, at my father's grave if I want to and let him know. And not that I'm like, because then it just gives me ownership. Now I'm in control of our relationship again. And now I can rebuild memories. And now I don't have that. Now there's no anger between us anymore. You know, now it's an opportunity for us for my brain and heart to be like, oh man, good. That right angle ain't there, that right turn, that stoplight, those 7 stop signs you got built up at this intersection of your emotions, it's not there anymore. And it's just a beautiful curve, man, and you can feel the love.
If someone else spoke to me the way that I speak to myself, you know, I'd have to kill that son of a bitch because, you know, I couldn't tolerate that. I don't know why we're just so mean to ourselves, man.
But yeah, man, I'm sorry that you are so mean to yourself. You know, and I don't mean that as a reflection of who you are, because I know, like me, you don't want to be. You know, you don't want to be. If you're like us, you have some of this that we have, this ism, this alcoholism, this uncomfort. It's really an uncomfort that just lives in us. Yeah, you're probably gonna be real hard on yourself. You know, I think I was always extremely hard on people. That's the number one note people have given me. Man, you're so hard on yourself. The people that we want to see us grow up the most isn't there, then sometimes we just will stop evolving. We won't grow up. And it's just that way, it's like fuck. It's like saying fuck you to the world. It's like saying, oh, you're gonna take my dad away. You're not gonna let the person that I care about the most be here to see me grow up. Then fuck you, I'm not growing up. And it's like the only thing we can do, because, you know, there's no other way to get back at time or to get back at the world than by our own actions, really. And so we just stay where we are. We say, okay, time, you're going to keep going on, but I'm going to stay right where I am. You're not going to get me. I'm not flowing in your river. You know, I'm not flowing forward. I'm not evolving. You know, because the person I want to be here the most, you took them away. Well, I'm going to stay right where I fucking am. I'll show you. You know, this kind of invisible, I'll show you to the world that took away your parent or took away somebody you cared about. But at a certain point, you just start to hurt yourself, you know. At a certain point, it's like, you know, you're 30 or you're getting older and you're still at home, and now it's like, you know, it's cumbersome on the young fella's mother, and she's getting older and he needs to be able to contribute, and I'm not airing his dirty laundry out there. Like, I'm not ashamed of the guy, or, I mean, this is just his life. This is what's going on. We're all just, you know, people that are trying. But yeah, at a certain point, he owes it to the adult him to try and get past it. And I understand the young, you know, him wanting to stay young forever and stay right where he is, and nobody else is, if he stays living with his mom, then there's not really space for another man to come into the home, and, like, you know, it kind of like, it's him just at a core level, just holding on to everything so much, where, you know, to what it was like when he was a kid. But he owes it to an adult him sometimes to move on. You know, because then the adult him has a chance to live in the world and have an experience. I could heavily relate to what this boy went, you know, in a way. Like, I could see, like, wow. Sometimes if something happens to us, then we hold a grudge against the world, and we can carry it out in ways that over time aren't really helpful to us anymore. But it's so wild to see, like, you know, you see this boy trapped in this man's body, and the man's body, the adult, wants to move on, but there's this boy just, like, holding on to, like, this, you know, this grudge, honestly, against the world. And it's a fair grudge. You know, the world took his father, but it's an unfair grudge in the sense that he's not being fair to himself now. You know, to the adult him that wants to really feel free to challenge the world and to take on the world. So I just felt more comfortable in my own skin a lot of times, you know, because I feel like I would be able to be more effective as a person if I could just, like, kind of not toil in some of my own, you know, small self-worth issues, like lack of confidence at times. You know, I wish I could trust my instincts, and I wish my instincts were, like, better calibrated, so that I knew when if I was doing, like, okay and good stuff, then my insides, like, told me you're being okay. You don't have to.
Forgiveness in us, because I try to forgive so much, but then oftentimes I dwell on, you know, why they wronged me. And this goes for my brother, my dad, my mom.
Yeah, it's a good call, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for calling. And it's funny, this is kind of right where I am. You know, during the holiday, during Easter, I got to see my mother and see my brother, and it's tough because it's like, yeah, how long do I hold a grudge, you know? And then, because at a certain point, your parents, they're just getting older, and you're missing out on whatever there is there. And yeah, I think I believe And it's one of the reasons why I'm trying to recommit myself to my program, is because I believe that forgiveness is the only answer. I believe that letting go of whatever that hurt is. You know, sometimes I felt so hurt as a kid. I hold on to that hurt because sometimes it's the only relationship I had with my mother was that I was angry at her. You know, and it's all I had. It's the only thing that I had. So it was like so hard to let it go. It's been hard to let it go. Because the only thing that I had was my anger or my uncomfort or my pain. It was so hard to let it go. It's like a blanket, you know, it's like I know this isn't good for me, but somehow it keeps me warm a little. You know, the only thing I had, you know, when I was young, and I'm not talking about self-pity here or anything like that. I'm trying to really examine this, like why we hold on to those things. Cause yeah, all I for a long time, all I had was just my anger, and I was wronged. That you know, it's somebody's. All I had was that, and when you have that from a young age with a parent, it's like it's not even you holding on to it as a conscious adult. It's this inner child that's got this claws on him. But I just believe that the only way to do it, the only way to really get free, is to have some forgiveness, you know. And people do the best they can. You know, I saw my mother this weekend, and all any of us are is just kids that are just getting older, you know, and just trying our best in the world. And sometimes it takes time. You can't really force it, you know, but I think we can get into practices that help us get closer to forgiveness. And that's where I want to be. Because at a certain point, I'm tired of the grudges. Even if I'm not the one making them, even if they're from a young, I've got to talk to myself or have a relationship enough with my heart that's like, hey, trust me enough to walk us through this. And with my higher power. To say, hey, God, help me walk through this. You know, help me. You know, I have felt unloved, or I have felt wronged, or I have felt this. Help me try again to give this person a chance to love me. Because if not, I miss out twice. I miss out as a child when I wasn't able to make a choice. When I had, it was all survival instincts that I had to operate from. But I miss out as an adult when I am able to make a choice. And as hard as it is, I don't want to miss out on getting to love my mother twice. I don't know if that makes a ton of sense or not. And fuck, I don't even know if I care if it does. You know, for me, it's been a long journey with this kind of stuff and trying to navigate it. And that's okay. You know, that's okay. So, but I wish you well there, brother. And just know that there's other people out there that are on this journey with you in some ways. It could be a mother, it could be a father, it could be a sibling. And it could be ourselves. Sometimes a lot of it for me is about forgiving myself.